I've done Salvia Divinorum a few different times. Well, no, many different times, not a few. But I've had a few, two in particular, breakthrough experiences. The first one, it took a long while to hit me, which it does sometimes, and it started with a feeling of being pulled along by my feet, and kind of like I was being sorted like mail. And this feeling went on for a while, and then I started going faster and faster, and faster, and started going through this tunnel, and felt like I was being stretched out, and I was still being sorted. And then I broke through, and I opened my eyes. Not in reality, my eyes were, in the human experience, my eyes were actually closed. But I opened my inner eyes, my inner eye, I guess you could say my third eye. And I saw the bright blue sky, and I was in a field, a grassy field, and there was a bird. And I was a jaguar, yeah. I believe I was a black jaguar. I'm not sure. It could have been, any type of jaguar. That's unimportant. But I was a jaguar, and I think I was like a newborn jaguar. I was young. I wasn't an old jaguar. And I started hunting this bird. I'm a jaguar. I want to hunt the bird. I'm hungry. I want the bird. So I start hunting this bird, and then I get the sensation of being hunted. So I start running. I start, running along to escape these hunters. And as I'm running along, I turn, and I believe it is pronounced Tharampo. I'm not, okay, I don't know how to pronounce the word. But it's the half human, half animal creatures, like a centaur. And I had human lower body and chest, kind of. The chest is where I started to form into the jaguar. And my head was just appearing, like my face was appearing like where my neck was. And I had the jaguar head, and I still had jaguar paws and arms and shoulders. And so my upper body was still pretty much jaguar, and my lower body was human. And I was running along trying to escape these people, and I was doing a pretty good job at it. And I turned a corner, and I jumped, and I transformed into a snake, and all of them ran past me. And then I was a snake for a little while, and I was going around, and then I felt like I was being pulled straight up. I was on this dirt trail, and I felt like I was just, here's me on this dirt trail, and I just went, and I was being pulled up extremely fast. And I went into this all-white room. And at first I really couldn't see anything. Then these people, the shapes of people started to become clear to me. And I thought there was only 3 or 4 of them. And then I realized there's all kinds of them. It was an uncountable number. And I was one of them. And these people, I didn't see what I looked like, but the people when I first described them, I described them as jelly people. Like, I didn't touch any of them, but the consistency, I could tell they had a solid, like, it was like a liquid in a solid container. And, the best description I could give was jelly people. Until in the later trip that I'll discuss in a minute, that one, I thought they were jelly people, but I realized later on that they're actually light beings. But and these jelly people, they speak it's telepathically, but it's also not in our language. Because he said something to me, and I remember I thought, what is that? What is he saying? Or what is it saying? They had genders. And I thought, what is it saying? And I realized he told me, we're putting you back. And I told, oh, okay. And he had me look, and there was this kind of like red eye. I think it was an eye or a tunnel or something. It was a reddish orange. And I looked into it, and then I was being pushed back into my body, back into my human body. And that was the end of it. And that was really intense and really crazy. That was a really crazy trip. It was my first breakthrough Salvia experience. It was the first one I got really any intense closed-eyed visuals. And That was the first time I saw any type of people. And also, the trip started. Did it end with it too? I'm not sure if it ended with it. But at either the beginning or the end or both, I saw it started with DNA strands spinning along my field of vision. And at first there was one, and then one was in the middle. And then it moved up to the top. Then one appeared on the bottom. Then it filled in a whole square. Then there was an X in the square. Then the X turned into boxes, so it was filled with boxes. And then the boxes started moving, turned into a tunnel, which turned into a spiral. And then the spiral started creating patterns and shapes, and kind of like hieroglyphics. And as I focused on those, the intensity and the visuals became stronger and stronger and stronger. Then I woke up in the field as a jaguar. And but Salvia, the beginning and the end are easily confused for me. Like after a trip, was that the beginning or was that the end? And I just find that very strange. And I wish I could remember what those hieroglyphics looked like, but I can't. I haven't seen them since. But that was my first breakthrough trip that I remember. I had another one before that, but I blacked out. And that was a really crazy trip. But it was a breakthrough trip, but it wasn't a breakthrough to the level I wanted. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, and I would love to have another one like it. But it wasn't, I didn't really learn anything. I learned what my spirit guides were. My spirit guides are a jaguar and a snake. I learned that from the trip, but other than that, it was simply fun.